Right, so I'm back, and we are back with another league prediction because there's still two leagues left to get started, and of course it's La Liga and Serie A. Of course we're doing La Liga, my favorite team's league, Barcelona. Of course we're doing La Liga because the league is starting very soon, this weekend actually, and yeah, we haven't done their league prediction, but here we are. This is the video for the league predictions of this year. So in 20th, I have a newly promoted side. I believe they did really well last season. I don't really follow the second division of the Spanish league, but it's Almeria. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but I have them finishing in 20th. I know it's quite sad for them, but I think they'll do pretty well. I think they'll, get a few draws, get a few wins up against some of the bigger sides. There'll be a little bit of complication for the bigger sides, but ultimately I think they will finish in 20th. I can definitely see them doing an upset, but I don't see Almeria doing it. I see another team doing it, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. In 19th, I have Cadiz. Cadiz, they did pretty well last season. I mean, they just survived relegation. They finished in 17th last season. They were very close. I believe they were only 1 point off of relegation last season, but I see them getting relegated this season. I feel like they haven't done much business, or their business hasn't been enough in the transfer window to keep them in this league, and so that's why I have them going down. But unfortunately for you, Cadiz, I can definitely see you guys coming back up maybe the season after, but I don't know. I'll definitely have you guys going down. Finishing up the last relegation spot, I have Girona in 18th. I have them finishing in 18th. I know it's another newly promoted side, and I know they've been pretty decent, or they were already pretty decent when they were in the top flight a few seasons ago. But now that they've fallen off, they've lost quite a few players like Christian Portu, who I knew he was a great player back at Girona, but now they've lost him and they just don't have much firepower to contend with in this league, and that's why I have them finishing in 18th. I know that they can definitely do some damage, but I don't see it happening, at least not this season. I don't see it happening for Girona, so that's why I'm putting them in 18th. In 17th, I have Real Valladolid. I believe partial owner of the club, or just a major investor, is R9, the Brazilian Ronaldo, of course. I believe he's an owner or something of the sort, but anyways, I see just his backing just barely doing enough, and just the quality of the talent that they have in defense, I think will help them stay up in this league. I think it'll be very close, but I think they'll stay in 17th. I think they'll stay in this league and be able to, push on a little bit. As long as if they keep survival this season, I think they'll be able to push up towards mid-table and maybe challenge for European places in future years. But they have to survive relegation this year, and I think they will do it just barely, just by the skin of the teeth. So let's go Real Valladolid. Dropping a few places from 13th down to 16th, I have Elche. Elche, I really underestimated them last season, but this season I might underestimate them again, but I don't see them doing much yet again. I have them finishing in 16th, just a few places above the relegation zone, because I don't see them with enough squad depth. I don't see them being able to compete with the higher levels that this league contains. There's so many great teams in this league, and I feel like it'll be so difficult for Elche to compete with them, so that's why I have them finishing in 16th. In 15th, I have Mallorca. Mallorca has been a pretty good side. I mean, they produced the likes of Luca Romero, who's actually now at Lazio, but that's besides the point. They did have Takefusa Kubo, who wasn't the greatest on loan last season, but then now they have Kangin Lee. He can definitely be some, strong reinforcement for Mallorca, but I don't really see them doing too well. I could definitely see them falling into the relegation spots for some time in this season, but I see them just escaping. I think they'll definitely be in a relegation fight, but they'll finish in 15th, just barely out of relegation, and just being able to survive and pushing forward for the upcoming season and staying in this first division. In 14th, I have the high-flying Rayo Vallecano. They were so good at the start of the season, but then they just slowly died off, and stuttered up until a 12th place finish. I know I'm putting them a little lower, but I think they won't be in a relegation fight. They might struggle a little bit, but I don't see them fighting for relegation. I think they'll comfortably survive. They'll finish in 14th, and you know what? They could finish a little higher, but for me, they're finishing in 14th. They just don't have, I think their attacking output needs a little bit of some more youthful talent. I feel like I believe it's De Tomas and Falcao, if I'm not mistaken. I know they're great quality strikers, but I think they need a little more youth plugged into them so they can, you know, be a little faster and compete with the quick center backs and defenders that this league has to offer. In 13th, I have Getafe. Getafe, they're a fantastic side, and they were pushing for European competition, what, like 2 seasons ago? But now they finished in 15th last season. That is very surprising. But it's okay. I think they'll do a little bit better than last season, hence why I'm putting them in 13th. But still, I do see them struggling, hence why they're not above the 10 range. They're getting close to mid-table, but they're not quite there yet. And I still feel like they need a little more signings and a bit more firepower to be able to, you know, compete at the same level that they were at a few seasons ago. I still remember one of their best players was their defender, who even got a team of the season in FIFA a few seasons ago. So not bad, but you gotta keep up the consistency. They need to up the consistency that they had from a few seasons ago, and then they'll be able to compete against the top teams in this top flight. In 12th, I have Osasuna. And as a Barcelona fan, I know how good they are, hence why I'm putting them kind of mid-table. I mean, not quite there yet. They finished in 10th. I do see them dropping off 2 places, but it will be a little difficult for them. But I still have them in 12th, you know, because they're always going to be that kind of mid-table side. I don't see them doing much in the transfer window, and they haven't really, you know, their transfers haven't inspired me much. So that's why I'm putting them in 12th, keeping them in 12th. I think they can do a little bit better, maybe finish in 10th again, but for me, they're finishing in 12th. And yeah. In 11th, I have a fierce Barcelona rival, mostly because of their location. They are based in Catalonia, and they are the other Catalan club of La Liga. Of course, it's Espanyol. They finished in 14th last season, so I am putting them a few places up. I put them in 11th. I know it's a little hard to see where exactly they'll finish. They are a great side, and they've always had a good backing. They have strong fans, great fans that help them, produce in La Liga, and that's why I think mostly, I don't know, I just have a gut feeling about Espanyol. I feel like they'll be able to finish in a comfortable position, past mid-table, being a little bit better than the rest, or not than the rest, but just being a decent side and finishing in 11th place. Getting close to that mid-table, and maybe in a few seasons pushing for European competition. But getting ahead of myself, they should just focus on the season and hopefully finish as high as they can, which I think they will finish in 11th. Top half now, in 10th place, I have Celta Vigo. Celta Vigo, always a mid-table team, always doing so good, and I don't really see them doing anything else. But, I mean, they did just acquire Oscar Mingueza from Barcelona, of course. We do have a few clauses in order for us to buy him back, I believe, or we have a 50% sell-on clause or something. I don't know, but I think that's a great pickup for Celta Vigo that will bolster their defense. I know how good Oscar Mingueza is. He's a fantastic player. He just needs a little more, little bit more confidence, and he needs a little bit more playing time. Hence why I think the move to Celta Vigo is a great one for him, and I think that's a great move for Celta Vigo as well. They got him for pretty cheap as well. So good job on Celta Vigo for that transfer business, and of course they've done so much more, hence why I'm putting them in 10th place. Staying in the same spot from 9th to 9th, I have Valencia. They finished in 9th last season, and I'm putting them in 9th this season. I don't really see too much happening for Valencia. I believe they just lost Gonçalo Guedes to Wolves, so I think that's a pretty big loss, and their attack just doesn't seem that strong, For me, they have great players like Carlos Soler and I believe Jose Gaya. I mean, Barcelona were chasing after Jose Gaya, but they're sticking to him. They've kept him, so most likely they're gonna keep him, and I think that's a great job on their part. But losing Gonçalo Guedes could be a little bit of a loss there, and I think they still have Maxi Gomez, but just relying on him doesn't give me the utmost confidence with Valencia. Unless they bring in another player to replace Gonçalo Guedes, I don't see much happening for Valencia, hence why I'm keeping them in 9th. In 8th place is the surprise package of the Champions League last season, Villarreal. They had a fantastic Champions League campaign last season. They beat Bayern and they made it to the semifinals. They were pretty close to making it to the final up against Real Madrid, but of course they lost out to Liverpool in the semifinals. But that's besides the point. They have a fantastic side. They did lose out on Sergio Asenjo. He has left on a free transfer, but I still think they have a solid goalkeeper in Geronimo Rulli, I believe. And I don't know, this side, they're very good, and they're very you know, they could definitely push on for European competition, but with they have the European Conference League, if I'm not mistaken. So I feel like they will get a little too focused on that because they will go far in that competition. I do see them going far in this competition. I feel like they'll push on very far, but ultimately, you know, drop down. You know, they will focus too much on the cups and will lose out in the league, hence why I have them in 8th. They finished in 7th last season, so dropping down a place because they'll focus a little too much on the cups, at least in my opinion. In 7th place, I have Athletic Club, or Athletic Club de Bilbao. They are a fantastic side with their own really strict transfer, what is it called? Like restriction, with only signing Basque players. I still don't know how entirely how it works, but I mean, good on them. They've still been a very successful club with the likes of Iñaki Williams and his young brother Nico Williams, and just overall fantastic side. They've always been a great side. They've always been pushing for the, you know, top 6, top 7, but this time I have them finishing in 7th. They finished in 8th last season, but I have them finishing in 7th. I think they'll do a little bit better, push for European competition, maybe just get Conference League, but for me, I think they'll just lose out in the final days and ultimately lose out to the top 6 teams, hence why I have them finishing in 7th place, but good luck on Athletic Club. In 6th place is arguably one of my most controversial picks. I have Sevilla. I think they'll definitely make top 6. I think very comfortably they'll make top 6. But the main reason why I have Sevilla finishing in 6th, which is the Conference League qualification in this league, is because they've lost out on Diego Carlos and on Jules Koundé. They lost Diego Carlos to Aston Villa, and they've lost Jules Koundé to, of course, my team, FC Barcelona. But I think those 2 losses are very big. Those were their 2 starting center backs, and now they're gone. Absolutely gone. They did sign Marçal from Galatasaray. I think that's a great signing, but I don't think they'll be able to replace he'll be able to replace both of them. You know, they'll definitely sign another center back. I can definitely see that happening, but it'll be a little bit difficult because Sevilla need that strong defense. They've always been known for that strong defense, but without that, I can definitely see them struggling. Hence why I have them in 6th. But I mean, they could definitely surprise me. But I did want to have a bit of a controversial pick, hence why I have Sevilla in 6th. In 5th place, making Europa League spot, is Real Sociedad. I know they're a great side, and I know they finished in 6th last season. They made Europa League yet again, but for me, they will make Europa League again. They won't make top 4. They'll be very close, but they won't make it just enough. They still have the fantastic talent with the likes of Oyarzabal and so many other players like Mikel Merino. And I thought that Mikel Merino would be moved on by now, but he's still at the club, and I think that's a great thing for him. I mean, of course, the transfer window's not over yet. He could definitely leave, but I definitely do think Real Sociedad have the talent to make top 5, maybe even push for top 4, and I think they will push for it, but I think they'll ultimately just fall out to the top 4 teams that I have not mentioned just yet. So top 4 now, of course, they've made Champions League, and for me, I have Real Betis. Of course, Real Betis, they're a great side, and I do have an affinity for them. I mean, you guys already know that because I have a series on Real Betis. So yes, I have them finishing in the top 4. I have them making Champions League qualification. They finished in 5th last season, just missing out in top 4, but I have them finishing just above the rest because I don't know, I see Real Betis actually doing something with the likes of, with their manager, Manuel Pellegrini. He's a great manager, and I think he can definitely take them to the top 4. It'll be difficult, but I think they'll just make it just a few points above Sevilla and Real Sociedad. I think they'll do it. I don't know, I just have a gut feeling for Real Betis this time. So top 3 now, I have Atletico Madrid finishing in 3rd. Of course, that leaves off the top 2, you know, with Barcelona and Real Madrid, the top 2 rivals in La Liga. But of course, Atletico Madrid, the best of the rest. I don't know, I just see such quite a bit of gap between 3rd and 4th, hence why I have Atletico Madrid, and I see just a few teams below 4th, you know, Real Sociedad, Real Betis, Athletic Club, Sevilla, all of those, I see them competing for 4th place, but of course I have Real Betis in 4th, but I have Atletico Madrid in 3rd, and I think they're just a few steps off of Real Madrid and Barcelona, hence why I have them in 3rd. I know they won the title 2 seasons ago, but I mean, they lost out on Luis Suarez. I know he was getting a bit older, 35, 36, I believe. He's gone back to Uruguay. I love him to bits, so I'm so happy for him. But with that being said, I don't know, Athletic Madrid, they're really good. They have João Felix, they have a fantastic manager in Diego Simeone, but I don't know, I just don't see them doing too well. They did bring in Axel Witsel from Borussia Dortmund. That's a great signing in my opinion. But I don't know. I just with the transfer windows that both Real Madrid and Barcelona have had, and the stability that they both seem to have at this moment, and Atletico Madrid have been a little bit shaky in the past few seasons, I just see them finishing in third. So yeah, Atletico Madrid finishing in third, just outside of the top two. In second place, it's either Real Madrid or Barcelona, and I won't beat around the bush. I have Real Madrid finishing in second. Call it bias, call it whatever you want, but I don't know. It's going to be close. It will be very close. I really don't know. It could really go either way. As a football fan, I should probably go for Real Madrid, but as a Barcelona fan, I'm going for Barcelona top of the table. Real Madrid, let's just focus on them. I have them in second, and let's just go down what they've done. They've brought in Tchouaméni for 80 million, but I mean, that's still a fantastic signing. Definitely bolstering that midfield and, future-proofing it. I mean, Casemiro is the youngest out of their top three midfielders, but Tchouaméni is the new lineup, and he could, be his replacement. Alongside that, they also brought in Antonio Rudiger on a free from Chelsea. Fantastic signing, by the way. They did lose out on Marcelo, but I mean, he was getting older and he wasn't playing that many minutes either way. But anyways, they still have Ferland Mendy, they have Dani Carvajal, and they have so many great players. They still have arguably the best player in the world right now, Karim Benzema. Honestly, my pick for the Ballon d'Or. I think there's only a few players behind him in the Ballon d'Or race, but that's besides the point. Real Madrid are just absolutely stacked to the brim. Thibaut Courtois, honestly, great player, fantastic goalkeeper, arguably the best keeper in the world right now. I think he is. But anyways, I don't know. I just think Barcelona have had a great transfer window, better than Real Madrid's, and I think with a completely new season for Xavi at the helm, it will be difficult for Real Madrid to, they have to be a little bit more consistent, and I just think it'll be difficult for them to finish in first, but I think they will push very far. I think it'll be within a point, if not tied on points, and just on, I think Barcelona will finish in first, just in head-to-head or in goal difference. So, of course, my champions, I have FC Barcelona, my favorite team. I have them finishing in first. They had a fantastic transfer window, and it's still not over yet. They're still rumored to Marcos Alonso. I know they did lose out on Cesar Azpilicueta. That's very unfortunate, but I mean, having the likes of Robert Lewandowski now, Jules Koundé, absolutely star-studded signing. I'm so happy with the likes of Jules Koundé. But we also brought in Frank Kessie, Andreas Christensen, Rafinha, and we re-signed Ousmane Dembélé. I think all of those signings are absolutely fantastic, whether for the squad or for the starting 11. That's absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see it in action, and I can't wait for the season to start. I can't wait to see Barcelona in a competitive match, just going all out, seeing Robert Lewandowski wearing the Barcelona jersey, seeing Ansu Fati finally fit. Hopefully he can stay fit for the rest of the season and get up to 15 goals and a few assists. Pedri alongside him. Frankie de Jong might stay, might go. I hope he stays. He's one of my favorite players of FC Barcelona. But anyways, I have them finishing first. And yeah, hopefully it can happen. But yeah, let's go FC Barcelona finishing as the La Liga champions for 2020, 2022, 23. Just before I go, I want to go for the league awards. Most goals or the Golden Boot of La Liga. I'm going for either Robert Lewandowski or Karim Benzema, and I'm definitely going to go for Robert Lewandowski. I know, very biased here, but it's okay. I'm going for Robert Lewandowski. And for most assists, I'm going for either Vinicius Jr. or Ousmane Dembélé. I think they'll be very close, and I think Benzema will be just behind them, but I think they're going to tie on most assists, because they're going to have a amazing strike partner alongside them. So yeah, look out for both Real Madrid's attacking front line, same with Barcelona's. And for player of the season, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult, but I think it'll be Benzema, Vinicius Jr., Ousmane Dembélé, Robert Lewandowski, or you know what? It could be someone just out of the blue, and you know what? I'm going to say maybe Thibaut Courtois. Why not? Thibaut Courtois could definitely win the player of the season. You never know. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next league prediction video.